Okay, and we are recording. Go ahead, James.
Excellent. Thanks, Stephanie. It is 6:02 on August 7th, and I am calling the meeting to order. Next agenda item is certification of quorums. Stephanie.
Yes, we do have a quorum. We have all 5 board members present.
Excellent. And proof of notice?
Yep, I certify that this meeting was noticed in accordance with Florida Statute 720, at least 48 hours in advance.
Thank you. Next agenda item is approval of the past meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to accept those?
Moved.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. Lisa, I can't hear you.
You're on mute, Lisa.
I just realized that. Sorry, I just said I'd motion, but it's fine. John, I'll just vote. No problem. Sorry, this bloody. I hate these meetings. I feel like a muppet. Go on.
Excellent. Next agenda item is the management report, and that is you, Stephanie.
Yes.
Do we have to all
Get the
those in
vote on the
favor of the
minutes.
minutes?
Oh,
Yeah, we need to vote.
Right.
I thought we all
Aye.
voted.
No.
We didn't. vote.
Lisa being on mute messed me up. So can we approve then all, we had a second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, now Stephanie, it's you for the management report.
Okay. Going to just share my screen. Okay, can everybody see the slide?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is the management report portion of the board meeting. This management report is reporting as of July of 2025. We're going to start with the arrears and the delinquencies. So currently at the end of July, the association was owed $125,000. And that was between 59 accounts. So we did make some progress. At the end of June, the association was owed $134,000. So we did collect just under 10,000 there. And I do have good news, actually. As of today, we did collect on a larger account, collecting just over $23,000. So we should be seeing that in the next management report. Currently, we have 20 accounts at attorney. So for homes sold within the community, in July, 2 homes sold. And just as a recap for the first year, so from January to June, we sold 31 homes in total in the community. Violations. In July, we've issued 189 violations throughout the community. 52 parking violations on top of that. And we have seen a significant decrease in parking violations from May and June. So in May, we had, I think it was 193 parking violations. In June, it significantly went down to, I think, 90. And this past month, it was 52. So yeah, so we're doing pretty good with the parking violations, and we did tow 1 vehicle during the month of July. ARC applications, we had 2 meetings in July 1st and July 15th. 34 ARC applications were processed. Of those 34, 16 were approved. 14 were conditionally approved. That just means that they were approved with a little extra stipulation. We did have 2 applications denied, 2 applications withdrawn, and we did process 5 of the quick paint applications. So that's great. We did start implementing the quick paint applications. That means that if a homeowner wants to paint their home the same color that they currently have, instead of having to do all of the paperwork and going through the ARC committee, they can fill out a quick form and get approved right here in the HOA office, which is great. So we did process 5 of those in the month of July. Curtis Protective Services, a little recap, they did issue the 52 street parking violations. They issued 14 citations for blocking the sidewalk. Those are for people who are parked in their own driveways, but blocking the sidewalk for whatever reason. 25 calls from homeowners requiring assistance from them. And they did also receive 4 TCAM alerts. So these are those small cameras that they, motion activated cameras that they have in strategic areas of the community. So they did receive 4 of those alerts that led to action during the month of July. And that could have been from anything with finding, somebody using the hot tub past our pool hours. So things like that. And those were all handled. And then we had other incidents handled by them, 29. So this is just actions that they took, that they saw and handled while they were out just on patrol without being called. We did have a mainline water break during July. It actually happened on July 4th. So here are photos of that incident. So Toho Water Authority and United Land Services responded very promptly to the incident, and they were able to shut the water off and complete the necessary repairs. So United did have to make that repair, fill the hole back in. And I don't think it's resodded over yet, but it is going to be done very soon. So they're just waiting for the hot weather to pass us by a little bit before laying new sod in that area. So if we want to talk quickly about some food and beverage items, so the Plaza Restaurant had a very successful 4th of July event due to the anticipated inclement weather. The decision was made to move the 4th of July event from the golf club over to the plaza, and the event proceeded as planned, and it was very well attended, and we received a lot of positive feedback about the 4th of July. Also, some exciting things coming up. NFL season is going to be upon us. So the plaza is going to remain open on Sundays during Sunday Night Football through the conclusion of the evening game. And food service will be available until 9 p.m. during those days as well. So that's great. And then also Monday Night Football is going to start, and we are going to do a limited food menu and drink specials on Monday Night Football because currently, the food is not available at the plaza on Monday evenings, with the bar opening at 1 p.m. and I think closing at 8. So we're going to keep it open a little bit later so Monday Night Football can happen, and we will have that limited menu for residents. And then some golf course pro shop updates. So we have some important important dates coming up. The front 9 maintenance is going to happen during August 18th to 22nd, so that will be closed. And then there will be a full facility closure from August 25th to 29th. So that's going to be time to do a lot of preventative maintenance, a lot of projects. So I have some projects listed below that will happen. And if some agenda items are happening, those projects will also be hopefully added, some during the closure. But these are the ones that we have confirmed so far. So during that full facility closure, we will have the booths at the Golf Grill reupholstered, and that's being done by a vendor. And then we will be repairing the ceiling lights. That's going to be done in-house. A lot of in-house projects are happening with Jenny and the maintenance team. We're going to extend the electrical circuits for the golf cart plugs in the golf cart facility. And then a lot of work is going to be done on the course restrooms. Some things will be pressure washing the restrooms inside and out. We'll be painting the restrooms inside and out, cleaning out the exhaust fans, replacing the locks, resetting some of the loose toilets and releveling them in the restrooms. And we'll also be installing cabinets for janitorial supplies in those course restrooms. So lots of work is coming, lots of projects. Here's some photos of the pump station replacement that happened. These photos were provided by Ethan. So as you can see here, the old pump station. And then this is the work being done. And we have that large crane bringing in the equipment through the ceiling. And then things being dropped off through the ceiling. And then that is the new pump station. And we also got the where the hole was in the roof, so that is now capped over, and it's going to be shingled next week. And then we also, as you can see, the doors to the enclosure for the pump station were in really, really bad shape, so we did get new doors put on this pump station as well. Enclosure. Okay, we are going to move on to our financial update, and I'm going to pass you over to John McTighe, our regional accounting manager.
Good evening, everybody. For our financial update for this meeting, we are going to, Stephanie, go ahead and click to the next slide, please.
Yep.
We're going to do a quick cash position. Currently, our operating account stands at $1,423,049. $1,423,049. Our reserves is currently at $1,211,482. That is going to go down in the month of July. We did pay for that pump station that Stephanie so beautifully just showed us. So we will take a hit to the reserves in the month of July. And then our bill of reserves is currently at $110,947. As always, trending favorably compared to 2024. Any excess cash in the operating accounts that is not necessary currently for operational needs is put into our money market account at that 4% interest rate. Go ahead and next slide, Stephanie. So just to recap, kind of on a mid-year basis of where we're at. This first slide is going to show us 2024 for the plaza versus 2025 year to date. So January 1st through June 30th of 2024 versus 25. We are trending favorably for our revenue. We're up $8,500 overall amongst all of our categories. And then you can see what's contributing to those increases by our categories. Our overall largest increase obviously is our food, and then the unused food credit that homeowners are not using every month. And again, those are the homeowners who are electing for the monthly $75. If they don't use it in that month, they will lose that. Next slide, Stephanie. A quick look at year-to-date expenses for the plaza. Obviously, our revenue is down compared to budget. So this is comparing actual to budget for January 1st through June of 2025. So while revenue is down, we can report that our cost controls are up. So we have a lot of savings in our food costs that are helping to offset some of the other areas that need to be focused on and that our team is working on to continue to become a leaner budget and operate within the means of the revenue that is being brought in by the plaza. So again, our strong food controls, cost savings, and then kind of controlling the middle of the P&L with making sure all of our payroll and all of our direct expenses, so contracts and things like that are also falling in line with the budget. Next slide, Stephanie. So if we head over to the Golf Grill, we have an amazing story so far through the first half of 2025 at the Golf Grill. Revenue is up to $341,000 compared to $290,000 in 2024, so a difference of about $50,000. All of our categories at the grill are seeing revenue growth from year over year. Obviously, with liquor being our biggest driving force at a 50% increase. So our beverage program over at the Golf Grill is very strong. So again, comparing 24 to 25, we're up about $50,000 in revenue for the same period of January 1st through June 30th of 24 versus 25. Next slide, Steph. Looking at our expenses for 2025, January through June 30th of 2025, looking at actual our expenses came in at 341,000. Excuse me, our revenue came in at 341,000. Our budget was 342,000, so we're just shy of our budget projections on our revenue. But we can report that our expenses, we were budgeted to spend 130,000, and our expenses came in at 135 for our COGS, but we're below budget in payroll and our direct expenses. So overall, our expenses are down in 2025 compared to budget. And again, that's being heavily run by our increase in our beer and our liquor sales down at the grill. So even though revenue was flat, because we're controlling costs along with labor and all of our direct costs, again, as far as contracts and things like that, we're coming in ahead of budget on our expenses, which is helping drive a much stronger, stronger bottom line for us for 2025. Next slide. So if we look at the golf shop, we're seeing significant growth in our revenue year over year. So in 2024, we had 1.1 million, and in the same period, January 1st through June 30th, 2025, we brought in 1.6 million. So a $462,000 difference for the year over year comparison of, again, January 1st through June 30th of 24 to 25. Obviously brought in mostly by our swing revenue, so getting more aggressive with some of our public rates, driving more members out to the course, driving up our public participation at the course is really the driving factor for that. Our revenue at the shop is somewhat stagnant there, so we do need to focus a little bit more on our shop performance and making sure that we have new and exciting products coming into our retail shop, and then also getting members to participate or to buy things from the shop, is one of our focuses for the second half of the year. Stephanie, next slide. So if we look at our actual versus budget for the mid-year point again, we brought in total 1.6, we were budgeted for 1.4. So we are ahead in our revenue through the mid-year point by 209,000. And then you can see our expenses as well. At the golf shop, we were budgeted to spend 767,000, coming in at 682,000. So again, we're controlling our middle section of the P&L, the things that we can control. That includes our COGS for the shop, as well as our payroll, direct contracts, and direct expenses. So again, our cost management is really strong so far through 2025. Top that with our higher than expected revenue and our lower expenses, we're seeing a very solid bottom line over at the golf course in 2025. So it's a great story for our first half of the performance of the year. So now we need to just continue that momentum going into the second half. Second half of the year always starts off with a little bit of a challenge, being the summer months. July and August are usually some pretty tough times for golf course. With swing revenue, with all the storms that we have, the afternoon rain showers, and then obviously the heat of Florida, we see that participation at the course kind of drop a little bit. So that's the quick financial review of the mid-year point. So I'll turn it back over to you, Stephanie.
Okay, that's actually the end of the management report. So we are ready to continue on with the agenda. But let me stop sharing my screen.
Well, hang on, Stephanie. Does any board member have any questions for Stephanie or John?
Lisa, you're muted.
Yep, still muted.
Right. Am I mute? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
We got you.
Okay. But two quick ones, just 2 points, Stephanie. Curtis, they need a map of the golf course.
Okay.
I had a reason to call them, and they didn't even know where we were because it's a call center you get to talk to, and then the other day there was a poor chap driving up and down looking for the 15th. Now he was actually on the right street, so one of my neighbours pointed out to him where the 15th was, but really they should have a situation whereby there should be a map of the community with each golf course hole, and every one of them that's responding to anything needs to be there, needs to have it. It's no brainer.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing, I thought we decided as well that we were going to have the NFL nights in the golf grill on a Monday night as well.
I thought
We were
so.
going to try it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to defer to James on that. I honestly, I put the information that he gave me on this, so I will confirm with James.
And by James, you mean James G.
I mean, James
James G.
Guinan, I'm sorry.
Okay.
James Guinan.
No, it's just I thought
My
it was something that we
my
had.
understanding is that Monday night is down at the golf course. And what James G had mentioned was also Thursday night was at the golf course.
Oh, I didn't see
Oh.
Thursday. I didn't know there was matches
Oh.
on Thursday. That's
So
grand, no problem.
we do need to clarify that, Stephanie.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
they were the only two I had for you, Stephanie.
Yep. Okay.
John, I have a clarification point for you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Did I see correctly that $99,878 is unused food credits at the plaza?
That is correct.
That's the $75.
That is the $75, yes.
So let's put that into relative terms. It's the equivalent of 222 of our houses spending zero in the first 6 months.
That's them spending zero above their food credit.
I understand it's the equivalent of it though.
Yeah.
Right? Do you know the breakdown between how much is 75 and how much is 900? Like what percentage? Like we have 937 houses. So how many are 400 or 3 something of the 900? How many pay the 900 up front? You know?
I would have to pull that. I don't have that readily available, that number, but I know it's about a third of the community that does the 900, just roughly, that pays it up front. And then there's a lot that elect for the monthly. And then on average, we have about 16,000 a month that comes in as unused food credits. So it's about 220 homes a month that don't use any part of their, it's about 215 that don't use their food and beverage minimum at all on a consistent basis.
So maybe we need to talk to James G to see what we can do to kind of get them.
We made a number of suggestions to him earlier in the year. John and I sat down with him, or maybe it was Alan and I. It was one of them. But things like, special rates for pizzas in the plaza, and kids eat free on a Tuesday night or something when it'd be quiet nights or whatever. When I say kids eat free, with a kiddie's meal with an entree, that type of thing. But I don't think anything has ever been put in place.
Yeah, I mean, we could try to look too, Liesl, to see how many of them are not absentee owners, but maybe are renting their home and they don't pass their privileges on to the renters.
Mm.
I would imagine that makes up most of it, to be honest with you, but we can certainly, as we start to get more analytical with our data here, we can certainly try to see if there's a trend of ownership type that's not using it.
Okay.
Yeah. But from a financial perspective, John, it's good for the finances because it drops straight to the bottom line, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and look, it's one of those catch-22s. It goes right to the bottom line, and then food costs don't go up. So if people were using that, we would see a similarity to our food costs going up with that as well. So there is a decent balance where we need people to not use it, but you're getting a service for it, so you should be using it. And
you should be using it. I know.
it's part of being part of the community. It's the amenity of the community, and realistically, we need homeowners to spend more than that per month to maintain it, to keep the HOA owners assessments contribution down. So at one point I've done that math. It's about $125 per month above the $75 per household that we would need people to spend to maintain rising costs of food and keeping that HOA contribution to what it is.
Okay.
A lot of this moves back as well to the conversation we've been having about the plaza and getting people up there and enticing people up, because people, if they come up, will spend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting them here. I don't think it's it's just getting them into the door and spending. I do have some analysis. Obviously, we did a mid-year review, but next month I do have some analysis of what the average homeowner spending here at the plaza. So again, we have some more data and some more analytics to look at. Just being that this is a long meeting, I did choose to do a mid-year review. So we'll have some more analytical data for everybody next meeting.
Okay. All right. Anything else? No. All right, we're moving on to the next item on the agenda, which is thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, John. Moving on to the next item, which is the consent agenda. So we have a number of items here. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. All right. Any comments by the board?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Next item on the agenda is new business, and the first item of that is sending accounts to hearing. Stephanie.
Yes, thank you. So we do have 8 accounts that need to go to hearing based on the violation process. The proposed hearing date is September 3rd, 2025. And like I said, there are 8 accounts. They're all listed here by their account number. The violations range from roof cleaning to having unapproved architectural items on the exterior of their home, to dead palm tree, and we also have 2 villa homes that have failed to provide the association with their homeowners insurance.
Okay. So I see on here that we're saying that it's $100 per day up to 1,000. Each one of these are past the 10 days. So can we just get straight to the 1,000 on each of them? Because that's an us decision, not a covenant's decision.
Yes, correct. So yeah, all of these homes, sorry, I should have clarified that. All of these homes have been in violation for more than 10 days. So they would, the proposal would be to fine them the maximum amount of $1,000.
Okay, unless they're corrected on or before September.
Unless
3rd.
they're corrected on or before the hearing, or this also says that if the homeowner has taken the proper steps in remedying the violation by the time of the hearing, meaning they've submitted the appropriate architectural request forms, that they will not be fined.
Okay. All right, so do we have a motion to send the 8 to covenants for hearing?
Yeah, I motion to send them for hearing.
I'll second. James, you're gone on mute.
Stephanie, what are you trying to say to me?
I'm sorry?
You put me on mute.
No, I didn't. You put yourself on mute.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that's passed. Stephanie, the next agenda item is the appointment to the Covenants Committee.
Yes, so we do have a vacancy on the Covenants Committee. So we did send out communication that we were looking for applicants to volunteer on the committee. We did receive several applications. And after reviewing them, one of the homeowners, so we received 2 applications. One of the homeowners was not, unfortunately, or sorry, one of the applicants unfortunately was not eligible to serve on a committee. So after reviewing the applications, we do have recommendation of Teresa Steele to be appointed to the Covenants Committee.
I motion that Teresa is appointed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, Stephanie, just to interrupt you. I've just had a message from somebody to say the chat is disabled.
I'm receiving chats from many people, so I'm able to use it and communicate.
Okay, so that's just a
Yeah.
message I've
Do
just got.
do you know who they are? I can try to message them.
It was Campbell.
Oh. I'm communicating with others via the chat with no issues.
Okay, maybe Campbell might send a test to you and just make sure it's working now.
Sure.
All right. Next agenda item is the appointment of the Art Committee. Stephanie.
Yes. Sorry, just to clarify that also, if he tries to message everyone, correct, it will not work. It says that he cannot communicate with everyone, but he is able to direct message me. Just as a point for Campbell in the chat.
Why can't, on normal Zoom meetings that I do attend rarely, but I can talk to everybody on it. Why can't we do that here? Then we could see it all coming up.
I believe that was a board decision to ensure that communication was streamlined and kept on topic.
No, because I remember when we decided to go virtual, I asked, could I see the chats, and I was told no. So, if people want to talk to each other during the meeting, I don't think they're not toddlers.
Okay, well, I mean, the board is just gonna have to discuss it. I can't change the settings during this meeting, but that's just a discussion that the board is gonna have to have.
All right, so then we'll get back to that one. So let's go back to the next agenda item, which is the appointment of the ARC committee. Stephanie.
Okay. We did receive one application for the ARC committee. There was one vacant seat. And we are recommending, after review of the resume and application, to appoint Sylvia Garrett.
I approve Sylvia's nomination.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. The next agenda item is the Community Enhancement Committee. This is the new committee. So this is the opening up of that. So starting off with the first thing was the board liaison is going to be John Lambert. We had six people who submitted their names. We are accepting all 6 of them. We will have it in 2 years and 1 year terms. 4 will be going to 2-year terms. 2 will be going to 1-year term. We are looking for a 7th person. So if anyone's interested, please apply. So the people that are getting or that are being, well, I guess I'll do this. So I propose or I motion that we accept for a 2-year term, Dylan Lucier, Jean Wakuri, Dan Metz, David Tristini. David Tristini will also serve as I recommend that he serves as the chair of the committee. For the 1-year term will be Javier Caceres and Kelly Heine. Now, given that the document puts a date for the 1 year to expire on January 1, 2027, so the 2 years will expire on January 1, 2028. So they're getting an extra 4 months or whatever it is. So I make the motion to accept those candidates. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, so the next number of items on the agenda before we get into that is going to require, there's going to be some items here that involve spending. Now, each item is going to either be a operational spend, a reserve spend, whereas the first one will be it's from a special account that we already have funded. Some of these accounts might have both, or some of these projects might have funding coming from 2 different sources or multiple sources, and some of them might be involved in our 558. I'm going to try and clarify as we go through each one, as I introduce it, where the funds are coming from. Alan has put together a spreadsheet which will get circulated depending on what is approved, that will go out, or however you want to disseminate that, Stephanie. I'll leave that up to you, but I assume some sort of e-blast would go out. Mm-hmm. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the reserve study, and that is going to come from if you remember back in the day, we all paid was it $125 or $150?
$150.
And then we had $35,000 left over in that account. And what we want to do now is update our reserve study. So we are going to be spending some of that money maybe tonight. So Alan?
Great, thanks, James. So just a refresher, we did the original reserve study that culminated in October 2022, so just about 3 years now. And I guess best practice or common practice is pretty much refreshing the reserve study every 3 to 5 years. I think the reason for doing our reserve study refresh in 3 years or now is one, there's a couple things that were excluded, the bulkheads being the biggest one. So I think we'd like to understand, like, if we get engineer in here and do this reserve study, what does that item look like from a price tag standpoint? How much useful life has it left? The other thing is the useful lives. We've seen that based on our original study, some things have expired or needed to be replaced sooner than was originally anticipated. And just the fact the sheer number of assets we have and, circumstances change, both as far as cost and lives, et cetera. So we want to make sure that we, have current information when we look to establish what that reserve funding should look like. So Stephanie and team obtained 4 proposals. They range from a low of like 10,750 to a high of 13,800. The recommendation is resident advisors, which is the second lowest at 11,700. I did spend a half an hour talking with them. They've got good expertise. They've got a large client base, several thousand clients. They do cover our amenities, so golf course and food and beverage and other infrastructure assets. They work with the HOA, make sure that, we give our input both upfront and in the outcome as well. And they also provide not only the PDF form, but also give us an Excel file that we can continue to tweak in the coming next 3 years as we're revising it either internally before we have to update it. So I make a motion to approve resident advisors at a cost of 11,700 to update our reserve study. And based on timing, they're about 4 weeks out in scheduling. So they'll start probably doing the initial meetings and the on-site stuff in probably through September, and should have something to us mid to late October. And then once we provide our input on that product, they should finalize it by November.
I'll second.
Questions?
Just a comment on my part. I've worked with reserve advisors several times in a variety of different communities, and they've always done a very good job, very thorough and willing to take questions and answer any questions that we have.
Excellent.
It's good.
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thanks, Alan. The next item is the gym treadmill replacement up at the plaza. This item will fall under the reserves for funding if it's approved. Now, as Alan was talking about, the challenge we're having with the reserve study is these were originally projected to be 2030. So we are way early on this cycle. So it's a bit of a challenge. So Stephanie?
Thank you, James. So the objective of this is to replace the 3 outdated treadmills in the gym that's at the plaza with new commercial grade equipment that will improve user experience and reduce service needs. So a little bit of background and information. Commercial Fitness is our fitness equipment provider and preventative maintenance company. They conducted an assessment of all of the gym's fitness equipment several months ago, and their findings concluded that all of the strength equipment that we have is in good condition. I mean, we do preventative maintenance and little repairs here and there. We need to change a cushion here or there, but generally speaking, all of the equipment is in good condition. Regarding the cardio equipment, though, we do have the elliptical machines. They are past their lifespan. However, they are still in pretty good shape where we don't need many service calls on the ellipticals. Same thing with the bike. But the difference for the treadmills, we're experiencing a lot of service calls for the treadmills. They are past their lifespan and they are in poor condition. So they are recommending that we replace the 3 treadmills. So since a little bit of additional background, since January, we've had to make 6 service calls on the treadmills due to malfunctioning. The incline keeps malfunctioning on them, and they're frequently needing to be recalibrated. The belt comes loose off of them, so they really just are past their time, and they're also incompatible with the Spectrum TV offering. So now I believe none of the treadmills are actually connected to Spectrum TV anymore. So the proposed upgrade includes switching the treadmills out for, we got 2 proposals, one for the MX20 Lifestyle treadmill or the MX20 Endurance treadmill. So from a specification standpoint, these two treadmills do share a lot of the same capabilities. However, the endurance treadmill is being recommended. The life test standard that the endurance treadmill must pass is 2 times the duration of the lifestyle treadmill. So the lifestyle treadmill is designed to be used on average 6 hours a day, and the endurance is designed for 12 hours a day. So given that every time I'm in the gym, there's somebody on the treadmill, given that the gym is open 24 hours a day and they're just used quite frequently, I think it makes the most sense to move with the better option, which is the endurance treadmills. Additionally, the endurance treadmill has larger rollers, which aids in the longevity of the belts, and they're just a lot sturdier. And they also have nice ergonomic handrails. So the recommendation is to move forward with 3 of the MX20 endurance treadmills. And Commercial Fitness will also remove the old treadmills for us as part of the package.
What's the lead time on the treadmills?
He said 6 to 8 weeks once the order is placed. And this price that they've quoted us is firm until the beginning of September. So we just need to let them know prior to September 1st. Otherwise, we could risk the price going up.
Yeah, I think it's a wise move to go with the endurance. I'm in the gym 3 times a week, and those treadmills are in constant use.
Yeah.
So do you need a motion?
I do need a motion.
I'll motion to replace the treadmills with the endurance treadmills as recommended by Stephanie.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Next agenda item is pool cleaning contract. That's not part of my spreadsheet, so that's just regular. This is just a regular item.
Yeah.
Well, that's you, Stephanie.
Okay, the objective of this is to secure a qualified and reliable pool cleaning contractor for the Country Club at Champions Gate 2 pools and spa at the Plaza Clubhouse, as well as the North Pool Complex. We are specifically looking for contractors who can provide comprehensive, all-inclusive service, which means that they would also include and supply the management of all of the necessary chemicals to maintain the pools. And they need to also be experienced in the use of the community's existing CAT controllers for monitoring and regulation of the chemicals. So a little bit of background information. We do currently hold a pool cleaning contract with Central Florida Pools, who were hired in early 2023. While their service initially did meet expectations, performance has significantly declined over time. They have been required frequent follow-ups due to incomplete or unsatisfactory service, and they've been unable to accommodate our scheduling needs consistently. Despite efforts to address these concerns directly, the owner of the company is extremely combative, resistant to feedback, making it difficult to resolve the issues that we have. As a result, we've been proactively seeking proposals from alternative pool contractors to make sure that we get the service that we need. I did contact 4 pool cleaning companies. They include Resort Pool Services, Bright and Clean Pools, Samdri Pool Tech, and Pools of Central Florida. Now, Samdri Pool Tech was here on the property prior to Central Florida Pools. However, they are just extremely expensive. They also do not provide chemicals themselves, so it would require us, on top of their services, to purchase chemicals elsewhere and organize for the storage of and delivery of those chemicals. We were very impressed with Resort Pool Services. They were just extremely thorough during their visit, and they showed a level of professionalism and attention to detail. The team conducted a thorough assessment of the facilities while they were here. And they made a lot of recommendations. So they actually only service commercial properties and they specialize in HOA and resort style pools. They currently maintain over 250 communities across Central Florida, and they have dedicated local team based in Davenport. To further validate their qualifications, I obtained references from multiple communities managed by different management companies. So I actually spoke to representatives of Access Management. I spoke to representatives from Castle Group, and I also spoke to other First Service residential managers. So I spoke to 3 individuals, and between those 3 individuals, they manage 9 properties in the area, and they manage 9 properties that currently use resort pools, and just stellar reviews all around. I also sent a communication out to all of the community managers for First Service Residential in Central Florida, and I didn't ask for recommendations of resort pools. I just said who is the best pool vendor, and everybody came back with resort pools. So we are recommending to move forward with them. Something that they are willing to do. So currently we receive pool cleaning services 5 days a week. They will do service for 6 days a week, every day except for Sunday. If we do want them to do 7 days a week, they will at an additional cost. However, they strongly believe that once they begin service here, we will not need it 7 days a week. But they are offering 6 days a week, and they're going to honor our current contract price for the remainder of 2025. And then there will be a slight increase in 2026. And they said that the only reason why we would have an increase after that would be if the cost of chemicals for them goes up. So we are recommending to move forward with them and to give Central Florida Pools a 30-day notice. And however, if we do give notice to Central Florida Pools and they fail to show up for those remaining 30 days, Resort Pools is able and willing to start immediately.
Stephanie, do we pay Jeff and in Central Florida, if they don't turn up, when do you normally pay their invoices?
We pay their invoice at the end of the month of completed
So
service.
if they don't turn up, we just don't pay that month.
Correct.
Okay, that's fair enough.
So Stephanie, in fairness, I do get emails as it relates to the pool in season. Can you find a price for the 7 days cleaning if we end up needing it? Like, what is the extra day?
I can, yeah, I can. He did say that, and actually all of the companies said that basically if you go with the 7th day, there is a bit of a significant increase. I don't know what that means. So I can ask.
James, if the pool's been maintained properly, you'll get away with missing 1 day. And bearing in mind I'm married to a pool guy, so I know that, but it would be for, you know, if child gets sick in the pool or a nappy leaks or something, that's a different thing. But generally 1 day you should be okay. The problem is the pool isn't been maintained, but then that's been the case for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the owner of Resort Pools was really adamant. He didn't want to give me a cost for 7 days because he said, trust me, you will not need it.
Okay, well then, don't worry about it, but keep it in the back of your mind if it's not going that way.
It is available to us if we need it.
Okay.
What in the situation where a child gets sick in the pool, and we've had a couple where we've had to close it down. Most pools don't close down all day. It just gets cleared up and it's, you know, a little bit more chlorine or whatever goes in and it's shocked and whatever they do to it. Is there a way that we can do it so that we don't have to close the facilities down for a day? Especially kids eating too much ice cream and then jumping in the pool, you know?
Yeah. So it does depend on the type of incident that it is. Vomit is treated differently than fecal accidents. And then based on the fecal accident, it depends on if it's a solid accident or not a solid accident.
Oh.
I mean, you asked.
Yeah, that's part and parcel of every pool.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, obviously, the goal is to be closed for the least amount of time, but we just
Yeah.
need to make sure that we follow, the health department's recommendations as
Yeah.
well.
I think you'll find when the pool has been maintained, you're going to not have as many issues as you have at the minute.
Right.
Okay. Anything else from the board? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 It passes. Next item on the agenda is bocce ball. Okay, so going back to my little chart thing here, some of this is going to be, most of the spending, if it's approved, would come out of the reserve. Some would come out of operations. This is a 558 item as well. So what that means is we are claiming it against Lennar, and that's for the court only. I don't even know if you call bocce ball a court, but the court only wasn't built in accordance to standards, so there is some issues as it relates to that. So for this item, it is Stephanie again.
Yes. So the objective of this project is to enhance the existing bocce ball court located at the North Pool Complex to ensure it meets standard bocce ball court specifications. In addition to improving the playing service and overall layout of the court, the project includes the installation of seating areas at both ends of the court, along with shade structures to increase comfort and enjoyment for the residents. The existing bocce ball court at the North Pool Complex was originally constructed without adherence to standard bocce ball court dimensions and materials. As a result, the court is currently in poor condition and does not provide a suitable playing experience for residents. In effort to bring the court into compliance with recognized standards and enhance the overall usability of the space, several sports court vendors were contacted to provide proposals. The scope of the project includes not only correcting the court dimensions, but also adding the seat areas, as I mentioned, and the shade structure. Throughout the process of this bid, we encountered many challenges. Many vendors for sports courts now require a signed contract before visiting the property or providing a site assessment, which appears to be an emerging industry standard for sports court vendors. Additionally, some vendors were only able to provide proposals for the court itself and not for the seating or the shade components, limiting our ability to obtain fully comprehensive bids from all parties. We did receive 2 bids, but before I talk about those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we contacted 7 vendors for this project, and we were only able to receive bids from 2 of them, and only 1 of them was a full comprehensive bid. So Nitty Sports or Nighty Sports, I've heard it said both ways. I say Nitty Sports. They came in with the full comprehensive proposal, which includes the reconstruction of the court to make it a standard bocce ball court. And it also includes the space for seating areas on either ends of the court, and also the installation of a covered cabana on both of the seating areas. And it also includes the installation of a regulation scoreboard. We did receive another proposal from Southwest Greens. However, they were only able to provide a proposal to put the court back into regulation size and get it up to standard. They were not able to provide any seating or shade structure options. So we are recommending to move forward with Nitty Sports for this project.
Sort of time frame are they talking about, Stephanie?
I did not get a time frame on them. She did say that as soon as we accepted the proposal, she would be able to put the order in for the material. And she's not seeing that much of a delay right now. So that's what she said.
Just as a point of reference, this is part of the reserve. This item was originally estimated to have a useful life to 2041. So we are again 16 years ahead on this.
Yeah.
Stephanie, on the surface of it, do you know if there's any warranty on that? Because again, that's like a artificial grass surface, I assume?
Yes, I actually do not have the proposal in front of me right now. I know that it was mentioned. I only have the bid comparison sheet right now, so I'd need to look at the actual bid. But the warranty information, I believe, was in the proposal itself.
Yep.
You can give-
Sorry, 1 year. Got
Oh, okay, thank you.
1
Yeah.
year, right? Okay,
1
yeah.
year.
it. And just out of curiosity, because I've seen other bocce courts with like a clay or gravel surface.
Mhm.
Is that an option, or is that a more expensive option as well? Or does it require more care and maintenance?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would need to discuss that with the vendor.
I'd say if you had sand or gravel, Alan, you'd have to have some way of having rakes there to smooth
Yeah.
them all out.
That's
Yeah.
usually what it is. It's,
Would you have kids messing in them the way we have them messing in the bunkers?
Yeah.
Yep. That's a
It-
good
I
it
point.
think
does-
that's why we're kind of in the issue that we're in now, because the problem with the court currently is that it's very hard to keep it a smooth surface.
It's wrinkled. Yep.
It
Yeah.
does say it's a sports carpet and on top of a concrete slab in the proposal. So that's what they're proposing to lay there.
I don't play bocce. I see Robin is on. Could we ask one of the bocce players what they would think with the surface? Or does any of the board play bocce? I see
didn't-
Robin is there.
But
Yeah, I know
Well-
that, I mean, this is standard bocce ball court material.
It is.
Okay.
Okay, so do we have a motion?
I motion to accept the proposal from Nitty, whatever, sports.
I'll second.
Question, if I may, the canopy, what material is that going to be? Is that going to be a canvas?
It's a strong canvas, yeah.
And is that going on metal poles, wooden poles, or how's it going to be held up?
If I did see a photo, I believe it's on metal.
Okay. Any idea, did they give you an idea in regards to what the lifespan of those canopies are?
No, they did not. I can get that information though.
I'm just wondering if it'll have to be replaced every 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, whichever.
Yeah, if any, I believe that the the material will be similar to what's currently over at the pickleball courts, that shade structure. I mean, it's going to be a lot smaller, obviously, because it's only over the seating area for the court, but it's that very strong, like taut canvas. So I think it would be more worrying about like fading in the sun.
Gotcha.
John,
And
it says
what-
here on the thing we got, secure curbs to 2-inch by 2-inch metal powder coated supports set in concrete foundations. Construct 2x6 T-Rex composite wood curb on exterior to mass supports. Construct 1.25 Trex composite wood capboard on top of each curb, and pour 8 by 12 feet bench areas at each end of the court.
Okay.
I like it when there's pictures, but there's no pictures.
And my other question is in regards to, I mean, it's minimal money, but in regards to the scoreboard, is
Mhm.
there, you know, my thought is, or my fear is that going to be used for other things other than those that are playing? I mean, a kid's going to go and put notes up on there, is somebody going to put a sign on there, they're selling something or whatever. I'm just
Oh.
trying to figure out, is that going to be a location where it'll start being more than just a scoreboard?
All right, so I do believe we have a scoreboard there currently, but it's just one that we purchased on Amazon to get it there. So we've not had any issues with the current scoreboard, but I mean, the one that we have right now is just a much cheaper material. So we figured that if we were going to get this done, we would do the whole thing the right way. But no, we haven't had any issues with the current scoreboard
Okay, good.
that I'm aware of. I'm going to go tomorrow and it'll be covered in graffiti. I don't know.
What about
Let's
after
hope
this?
not.
violation.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
So we had the motion, so we had a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
And that
Just
was-
say, these companies are like the mafia. They won't give you a quote until you agree, unless you agree to do the business with them.
Crazy, isn't
I'd
it?
love to do business like that.
I
Yeah.
know. I only find it with sports court vendors too. I've just had since COVID, they've just been very difficult to work with, specifically sports courts.
Guacamole. Okay.
The guacamole. The next item on the agenda is the Plaza sound system, and this would be an operating expense item. And that is Stephanie. All right.
Yes. Sorry, one moment. Just trying to get my next bid. The objective of this project is to upgrade the audio system at the plaza, specifically focusing on the plaza patio to ensure clear, reliable sound, with a specific focus on mitigating sound disruptions for homes located in close proximity to the plaza. The current audio system at the plaza is outdated and no longer delivers consistent performance for events or everyday use. More importantly, it has contributed to noise concerns from residents whose homes are in close proximity to the plaza. In response, we've reached out to qualified vendors and requested detailed proposals focused specifically on enhancing the audio quality while mitigating excessive sound levels in the surrounding area. Each vendor approached the challenge with different designs and technical solutions to ensure that we properly evaluated each option from an expert standpoint. We did bring in a resident expert who is an experienced professional in audio design to assist in the review and provide guidance on the system selection and layout. This collaborative approach ensured that the final system would meet our operational needs and also address the community's concerns regarding sound control. So we received 3 proposals, one from Audio Visual Integration, one from Crunchy Tech, and one from Millennium Systems. We are recommending to move forward with Audio Visual Integration. While this proposal does come at a higher cost, it does represent a strategic investment in quality, sound management, and future scalability. Their system ensures long-term benefits with minimal need for reinvestment. So I did provide the proposal for you for their design and details on the equipment. This vendor's vision closely aligned with our resident expert that we engaged. So it addresses enhancing sound clarity and effectively mitigates this noise spillover into the nearby homes. So their design meets the immediate goals, but it also lays out the foundation for future enhancements, meaning we'll be able to eventually, if we want to add, landscape speakers like around the pool area. So like the basis for that's already going to be laid out, and it won't cost as much money in the future when we want to move forward with things like that.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephanie.
Yep.
Questions? Do I have a motion?
I motion to approve the appointment of AVI to install the sound system at the plaza.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. All right, next item, Tetons USA and Golf Pack agreement. Hey, it's finally some revenue producing item.
Yes.
That's you, John.
That is me. All right, so the board is in possession of what our proposal is for our Tetons USA contract that is up for renewal. This is a 1-year contract, so it would be setting our rates for 2026. In the past, Tetons USA's format has been very complicated, meaning they had a lot of templates for mid-month rates and things like that. So Our goal with this year was to try to streamline that a little bit and make it a lot easier for the community to understand what rate we're charging for our wholesalers and for our shop staff to make sure that it's a more streamlined process. So, for example, in the past, there was January 1st to January 15th, January 15th to the 30th, and then there was one that went through March 9th, and then the 10th and so on. So again, the goal was to streamline it a little bit and to get a little bit more aggressive with our pricing and bringing our wholesale pricing a little bit closer to what our public rate would be. In the past, generally, our wholesale pricing has been on the lower end in an effort to try to drive more business to the golf course through the wholesalers. And again, the wholesalers would be the Tee Times USA, the Golf Pack, and the Golf Zoo. So the proposal in front of you is what we're working with Ben, who is next to me as well, and looking at some of the golf courses in the area to come up with what we thought would be the most strategically priced for our wholesale pricing, as well as keeping in mind that our public rate is generally higher than our wholesale, well, not generally, always higher than our wholesaler, but our member guest rate is generally around the wholesale rate, if not cheaper. So the proposal in front of you it kind of balances that. It also takes an aggressive approach to, again, generate revenue for our golf course instead of for the wholesalers. Just for example, last year in January, the wholesale price was $86. And this year we're proposing it to be on average $139. So again, we're trying to cut into the profit margins of the wholesalers and bringing it back in-house for us. I see it as a win-win situation a little bit, because if the wholesalers are able to sell the product at a little bit of a higher price, that's great. If they can't, it does open up some more tee slots available for our membership during peak times and things like that. So we're trying to make sure that we add value to our course. One of the other analysis that we did with this is we know, looking at the historical trends, during our peak time, we are maximizing our golf course, meaning we're at like a 98 or 99% course utilization rate through members and through public play during those times. So we want to make sure that we're maximizing our revenue, and we haven't tested the market yet with what our maximum value is of the golf course. I think we all have an idea of what the value is of the golf course. So we're trying to test that market right now with the pricing. So the aggressiveness in the pricing is set to do that, because we do need to find out where our peak pricing is based off of the quality of our golf course. We know that there's a lot of golf courses and a lot of options here in the Central Florida area. We take great pride in the way Ethan and the team maintain the golf course. So we need to test what the market says is our cap rate. So this proposal, we believe, does that for you guys, for the community. So I guess I'll leave that open to questions from the board.
So John, a couple of points. So just ballpark, year to date through June, we did about 220,000 with Tee Times USA. Most of that was in January, February, March. I think about 175 of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I hear what you're saying about testing the market, but if we miss it, is that revenue in jeopardy, right? And I know Golf Now, so basically just to educate people, wholesalers, we sell in advance, right? They can book up to, I think, a year out. And obviously they make their money in two ways generally. They mark up our rate. So let's just say we sell to them for 100. That's what they pay us. They sell it on their website for 130, 150, whatever they get for it. So that's their profit margin. Oftentimes they might charge a convenience fee too for like $3 or something. So another little profit item for them. Clearly though, I guess, if their margin is being lessened, will they sell it as aggressively, or will people go elsewhere? So again, that 175 being at risk, right? Because the flip side is Golf Now books last minute or within 12 days.
12 days, right?
You're basically only waiting to see if those tee times are available and somebody wants to pay that price on Golf Now. So far we've done a little bit of a balancing act, right? And I think that's what's driven our revenue up. And I agree, it's hard to know what that market is. But if we miss it, do we jeopardize somewhere between 0 and 175K in January, February, and March? And it's great if members play, but again, if members book those times we lose to Tee Times USA, we're not going to get those through Golf Now. So I just want everybody to realize, I think there's a revenue risk here. Obviously, if it hits, we're better, we're better for it, but if it misses, it misses. And there's no recovery from it, right? In other words, if you don't get it booked early on, like the Tee Times USA and Golf Pack Golf Zoo are usually the golfers that are traveling into the area. They're booking their golf outings for a week, 6 to 9 months in advance. Even now we're later than last year having this agreement in place. So yeah, I'll just pause there and get your views on that.
I mean, that is a risk, Alan. You're 100% right. I mean, in any business, when you're looking at pricing, you're trying to test the market of what the maximum capacity is for the public to decide, and the public ultimately determines what that value is, right? So we haven't been aggressive, I don't think, in the past to test that. I mean, the perfect example too would be our golf club rentals. I know it's one anecdotal piece of data, but we were selling rental clubs at $35 a year ago, and now we're 75, and that tends to be, we were worried about what the market would do to that, and it's one of our biggest success stories at the golf course. So, I'm hoping that would to go translate to that, but we do need to start testing the market of what our max potential is with these wholesalers.
And my only comment, the golf clubs the rentals were great, right? Also driven by public play, right? There's probably less members renting at $75 than wholesalers or Golf Now. But that is something that we could change on the fly, right? So if we launch that 75 and it didn't work, we could make that change the next
The
day.
good thing though with the wholesaler, this is the contract. So if we start to see the trend, in a month from now or 2 months from now, because like you said, they get to book out a little bit further, and we notice that we're not seeing the same trend of booking, we can call our representative at Tee Times USA and modify this pricing. So we have the ability to do that. And Ben, I think she would do it instantly for us. So we do have a relationship with them. We also pay for a marketing program through them, and we've done this consistently the last couple of years. So we are giving them skin in the game to sell our golf course through the marketing and advertising. But if we notice the trends aren't hitting where we want them to be, we could certainly adjust that price immediately on the spot for future bookings and see what that looks like. So this isn't something that we're locking in and we're stuck at this for all of 2026. We do have the ability to modify this by lowering it. Obviously, if we go to the wholesaler and say we want to up it, they might look at us and laugh. But we do have the capability to bring it down if the market is not reacting to what we think the market's going to react to. So we do have some flexibility in this contract to be able to do that based off of what the market is saying.
Right. So obviously they're going to let us move it down. They wouldn't let us move it up. I get that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess the question is, how frequently is that analyzed, right? So, and again, I don't know if we've got this data, but if we looked at, August 7th from last year.
So I don't have that in front of me, but we do have that. We do have those statistics, so we know exactly how much.
So you would know, like, say, how many January bookings we would have had as of this point, and then as of September, October. So I guess the question is when does that trigger get pulled? So like if we had 500 bookings in January as of today, and right now we got none because there's no contract in place, and we put the contract in place and we go to the end of August and we've got 3, do we automatically react and then say drop it by 10, 20, 30? Because the other thing you don't want to do is set a precedent.
I think there's a few things that we have to factor into, the economy, the way the economy is right now as well. So it's something that I would be watching with Ben and Benny being on staff now. That's something that we would be focusing on in real time to watch what the trend is of booking. Because we do have that historical data now that we've been 2 years in the 40s. We can see what our future bookings look like, and then we can try to run some statistics. We can agree maybe on a percentage, anything less than 85%, 80% of pace of what we were at would trigger a price decrease. That's a discussion we can have, at a later time of what that threshold we would want to set that would trigger that. Again, I'm always open to doing that and looking at the data. I mean, that's one of the biggest things we've changed now with our leadership team is we are looking at the data a lot better, and we actually have data to look at. So, that would be an ongoing discussion that I would be open to if there was a threshold the board would want to see, by a certain time frame, 45 days out, 90 days out, whatever that is, we would be able to accommodate that.
And then the other follow-up question. So if we price it at say 129 and we end up having to lower it to 99, does that lower it for every pre-booking, right? Because I would think Tea Times USA would say, you
It
know,
wouldn't. So if they locked in the price, because they're prepaying with Tea Times USA, so they would lock in their price.
but do people have the ability to cancel and rebook? Sorry, do people have the ability to cancel and rebook?
I'm not sure what Tea Times policies are, to be 100%, Alan.
72 hours. 72 hours before the tea time, they can cancel.
They can cancel.
Anything after the 72 hours, we're guaranteed payment. So if you reset the price,
Right, but Alan's saying, like, if somebody's booked with Tea Times for 6 months from now and they see a lower advertised price, can they cancel and then rebook at the lower price?
since it's outside the 72 hours, from our perspective, yes. Whether or not Tea Times USA is going to hold them to it, I doubt it. I think in reality, what Tea Times USA will do is lower that price, send you that price, send us that price, and charge their client the higher price. That's what I think they'll probably do. That's what I do. So I don't know. We got to be. Are you done, Alan? Because I have a question. So I'm looking at last year's, and I'm looking at 25 versus 26. On Thursday, we used to go to $12.50 at the higher price, and then it was just the last hour we would reduce. We're now reducing it 3 hours from 11 to 2. Right. So I don't think we know that Thursday is a very lucrative day for us. So I'm a little uncomfortable with the 11 to 2. I think that needs to be moved back to 1 to 2.
Which time period are you looking at, James? January 1st through the 31st of March, or?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're looking at the same thing. So,
well, not in 24 or 25, the first 16 days was different price. So I'm just going from January 17th to end of March.
Okay.
All right, but if we look at last year on the Thursday, all right, we had the switchover was at 1 o'clock. And now the switchover is at 11 o'clock. So that's 2 hours. So that's 48 tea times. And you take 48, so that's $480 a Thursday.
I mean, that's something we can certainly change. Again, this is the template that Tea Times USA sends us is
No, I get it.
just that. So we could modify the times if you would want to. So we would make the 129 from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. and then 1 to anytime after at the 119. Is that what you're requesting?
Well, that's just my view, because that's what we've done the last 2 years, right? And it's just a change that I'm not completely sure of, unless there's like, I don't know if that is a lower. Like when I looked at the T sheets, the 11 to 1 o'clock was always pretty booked on Thursdays. Like the whole day was pretty booked. So I'm not sure that we would want to make that change. But like, from my perspective, I would rather see it at 1 o'clock. I don't know how the other 4 feel. It seems that does spill over for the April and May as well. After that, it's,
yeah, the summer months is kind of irrelevant.
it's a different beast.
Right, it's a different perspective versus in season. So,
and then the other thing is on this agreement, remember, we do have a 30-day exit. So if we want out of this at any time for any reason, it's a 30-day notice. We sign it, we're done. They can do the same to us too.
correct.
Okay. So I don't know if the other 4 are on board with changing of the Thursday times. So
Yeah. I don't have a problem you doing that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm assuming that the template came like that because it's open from 7. It's the only one that's open from 7. So I'm assuming that's probably why they did that.
So just so I understand, we're changing from January 1st to 5/31. So that on page 1, the top section and the bottom section, on Thursdays, we're going now from 7 a.m. to 12:50, being at the 129, and Thursday from 1 o'clock on at the 119 for January through March, and then the same time frame at the bottom for the Thursday timeframe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the November 1st to December 31st? It goes from 7 to 11, it's 129, and it drops $20
Yes.
between
Yeah.
11 and 2.
So the third or the fourth quarter of the year is always kind of that iffy time period with travel. It's still a little bit of a slower season from a booking time of the Tea Times USA. I could modify that if you would like me to, but it is generally a slower season with holiday travels and things like that. It's also a time when our members aren't golfing as much yet. You know, that peak season really is like first week of January to the end of March, early April is really the big peak season.
If we keep it standard throughout them all, then it's easier.
That's fine, Lisa, we can do that. Yeah, and John, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ben, Johnson, are you good with that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
Right.
And then on the marketing agreement, it was attached here, so we're proposing to do that again, right?
That is correct. We are proposing to do that again.
Right. And
I
then
have sorry, James.
in orders of overall magnitude, because Tea Times USA has a August 31st year end, right? So they're September 1. So in terms of magnitude, wasn't it around Memorial Day, we were up to 465,000 from September 1 to Memorial Day, 465 from these people?
Ben, do you remember that analysis you sent us? Yes, that sounds about right.
Not up and down, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so this has been a fantastic agreement, and I think I saw my friend Darren on the call. He was the original pusher on this, so it has been very beneficial to the HOA. Sorry, Lisa.
Sorry, sorry, Joe, joking here. With regard to the marketing, hang on, sorry. I would suggest that maybe how recent are our pictures that they're using? Are we updating our marketing properly? Are we selling the course the way we have to?
So we will update the pictures. Ben did have a gentleman come in and do some drone shots of the golf course, along with some updated still shots of the golf course. So we will be updating that through the marketing campaign.
Okay.
And also in that there's options to do like social media influencers come out and, you know, do
Yeah.
a review of the golf course and, you know, kind of utilize every marketing tool that they have this year, see how that works out.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say that these influencers are they're following that they have on whether it's Instagram or TikTok or whatever. I mean, would it be worth looking at maybe creating a TikTok account and do a golf tip thing? Ben, would you be comfortable with something like that?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm happy to talk to you about stuff like that. You know, that's my field anyway.
So that's a discussion we'll have in the budget because there is a position that we're looking at adding for that marketing side of it. So that is something that we can have a discussion on during budget season.
Okay, well, would it not be wise to start picking it up now before the busy golf season gets in? We're talking about budgets in October. I mean, it's not rocket science, lads.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of resources, that's all. I mean, we can certainly do that. I mean, we can start one, it's just a matter of maintaining it for right now, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Aaron down there and Ben. I'm sure the two of them could probably work at doing some sort of regular posting, you know, golf tip of the day or whatever. And it's amazing how many people pick up on it.
Sure, that's something we can.
And that doesn't cost us anything.
Understood.
Let's go back to the Tea Times USA. But I do agree that if we're going to do the social marketing, we should be doing it. On this, the marketing part of this, depending on how item L goes tonight, we will be able to tick the box of hosting some outside events possibly, right? So when we look at it, we can go to Tea Times USA and say that we will have again, depends on how the vote goes, but we may have a facility for them. But moving on this, do we have a motion then on Tea Times USA? Well, I motion that we accept the proposal by John with the revisions of the Thursday, moving it from 7 to 11 to 7 to 12:50. The prices as outlined and executing the marketing agreement as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you, John. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Benny.
Thank you, board.
Next item on the agenda is T complexes. Ethan, next time we get you in here, you need to go first because you've probably been up since 3 a.m. And before we get to your stuff, Ethan, like for everyone that's on here and who may watch this later, like the amount of stress that his team went through during that pump station, and how they were able to keep the course together when we were down to 2, and the flow of water was not the best. I think, you know what, it's a hands down, we have a fantastic team there, and we can't lose sight of that as we do this. So thank you, and thank you to your team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the tee box. This will be a reserve. And now I think that we do need to, there is an item in each one of these items that does have a relocation or what did you call it? Mobilization fee. And
Right.
if we do more than one at the same time, we reduce the total fee by $2,500. So if we did all 3, it could reduce it by $5,000. And now I'll leave it to you, Ethan.
Alrighty, the proposal for the tees are gonna be hole number 1, the white tee. We are gonna just over double that tee box. That does get a lot of wear and tear in the winter, and without it actively growing, that'll give us a lot more tee positions to spread that wear out on that tee box. Second one is number 11 tee box, the red tee box and the white tee box. We would be stripping that off, re-laser leveling it and resodding it and making it just a little bit bigger on just the corners where we've shrunk it, where it was out to the original size. So the red and the white on 11, if you guys look at it, there are humps in it. 3 years ago when we redid all the other tees, that one wasn't as bad then, but now it's obviously, you can see it pretty good now. So, and then the third tee box would be on hole number 9, right on the corner. I think that's a white tee, or it's supposed to be a white tee box, I think.
Yes.
I can't remember. Last time
Back in the day, it was white.
that proposal is to raise that tee box up 2 to 3 feet. The company would come in, they would knock down all the brush in front. We would just have to have our aquatic company come in and keep that knocked down. But we would have to widen that tee box just a little bit more because we're going up 2 to 3 feet, so it would soften the walk up to it. If we want that tee box for yardage. So those are the 3 proposals, or the 3 projects on there. Sadler, I called 5 different companies. I was only able to get 2. The 3 companies were slam packed for the rest of the year. They would not be able to get out here in August timeframe when the golf course is closed. The Sadler Site Works came in at $22,490. That could be lowered with that $2,500 for each project, that mobilization fee. If we get all 3 done, he'll just hit us with 1 mobilization fee to get all the equipment there only 1 time. Or if we want to decide to do 2 projects, then we can do just the 20 or the 2,500. The second bid is from Ellis Turf Services, which was $58,500. It was $4,000 more, just over $4,000. And they would be able to get here in August. Obviously, with my recommendation, I think that we've used Sadler Site Works. He moved mainline on 3, 4, 5, 7. He rebuilt all the tee boxes for us 3 years ago. He built the nursery and built number 7 tee box, the gold box, back after Lennar went through it. That would be my recommendation on who we could use, and they are available the last week of August as of right now.
Excellent. Thank you, Ethan. In terms of reserve time, this was originally, again, on the reserve study for 2037. So we're hitting the, again, early everywhere. So, and you're comfortable with that, your choice, right? Like that's who you want.
That's what I recommend. They've done a great job for us in the past on every project that they've done for us. And their availability is spot on for that last week that we are closed.
Excellent. Any questions by the board?
How long would it take for the tee boxes to be used again after being repaired?
They get that. We could probably have them ready for mid to end of October. It will be sodded, so we won't have to grow in any sprigs. We'll be top dressing weekly and slowly bringing the Heidi cut down. So they will be ready for season.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion to approve Sadler's doing all 3 holes at the same time to reduce the cost for the mobilization.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you, guys.
We'll get some sleep. The next item on the agenda is the golf patio extension. Now the golf patio extension has multiple components, so it's going to have operating funds, it's going to have reserve funds, and it's going to have a generous gift from the golf beautification. Neil, you're up.
Okay, yeah. So the objective here is for us to construct an L-shaped patio extension on the existing golf club patio. The intention is to increase the seating capacity and really to enhance the overall resident experience of the golf community. We have seen lots of requests for us to increase the capacity of the golf clubhouse in order to accommodate more residents focused events, but also in the Kemper report that we had some time ago, they'd also recommended that if we had a larger clubhouse, then we would be able to host, as James was mentioning earlier, some more summer tournaments, which would provide additional revenue for the HOA through additional competitions and tournaments to be held there, which we're not able to do at the moment with the current capacity that we have. The recommendation, we had 3 proposals come in from 3 different construction companies that would provide the construction of the extension. Keeler Consulting, Calvert Construction, D&O Construction came in with various different price points, but Keeler Consulting was the company that came in with the most extensive, comprehensive and complete response from the 3 that we'd gone out to ask to bid. It addresses all of the elements that we put in our proposal, our RFP, out to the construction companies, and they demonstrated a good understanding of what our requirements were. Additionally, they've been working with an architect consultant as well, looking at the demands of the project, and so they are well prepared to support us. As James mentioned, there is various different funding to support this. The cost of the Keeler one is dependent upon whether we go with the hurricane grade screens or whether we have the regular screens around this extension. If we have the regular, it's 103,100. If we have the hurricane grade screens, it's 110,300. So an extra 7,200 for that hurricane protection. Now, the cost of this obviously is pretty significant, but as James mentioned, thanks to the beautification team for agreeing to use the balance of the golf beautification monies that they raised, which is around $60,000. So that would be a huge, huge contribution to this proposal. And what I'd like to propose as well is that in recognition of the efforts and the contribution that the residents in the beautification projects have undertaken, and also to acknowledge the contribution, the time, the efforts of the beautification team itself, to put a couple of plaques up in the extension, recognizing that their efforts are what has benefited the golf with this extension. So as part of the proposal, I'd like to recommend that we put some signage up recognizing the efforts that that team has done. But before we actually go ahead, and if this is approved and go ahead with this, I'd also like to propose that we have the vines that are currently on the outside of the clubhouse taken down, it repainted, because we don't really want to be doing that after the event. Now that is a reserve element, which was already in the reserves for 2026. So we'd have to bring that forward. Cost of about 15,000, but as I say, that was a reserve element that is already in the reserve. So that would be spending that maybe 6-9 months earlier than originally planned. So that's really the proposal that we have on the table today. Any questions or comments?
I have two. Is it possible, because everybody's here, if Stephanie could share on her screen the rendering so people can see?
Yeah, I meant to mention that. Sorry, Liesl, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Stephanie, can you show the pictures, please? So we've got various pictures of what this extension is going to look like. Obviously, that's looking at the front extension.
Oops, sorry, hold on.
Oh, whoop, quick.
I know, sorry.
That's okay, a little slower. Here's a kind of sideways on vision of it. That's from the other side.
I would like to note too that this side, I don't know if you could see my mouse moving on the screen, but it will extend further back to about here.
Yeah. So it's going to come further back than that.
Yeah. Yep.
Another picture of it. There's another picture of it. It's going to increase the capacity by about 50 to 60 people over and above what we currently have.
Do you want to see the screen options?
Yeah, can you just show the two screens? Because we do need to decide whether we go with the regular screens or the hurricane resistance. So those ones, I'm assuming, are the hurricane ones.
Yep, these are the hurricane screens. So they it is a true screen though. So regarding the use of air conditioning and heat inside of the patio, when these screens are down, it'll maintain, I believe it's set up to 85%. I don't remember now.
Yeah, it was 85%. They said on that. Yeah, it was
85% of the heat or air. Yeah. And then this is the other option, the canvas, like regular screens.
Yeah.
I think bearing in mind the fact that we live in Central Florida, we're probably better off getting the hurricane ones.
I would agree with you, Liesl, and for $7,200 extra, I think it's a wise investment.
Yeah. Neil, quick one on the vines. I have it in the back of my head that when we were having a meeting with about the 558, that it was mentioned that if the vines are removed, it could affect the stucco on the. So are we looking at restuccoing? Because that's going to be a lot more expensive.
Yeah, I actually engaged with a vendor today to just inquire about the whole project. So they're really not going to know the full status of the extent of the repairs that will need to be done until the vines are removed. But I asked him to bid out like what the worst case scenario would be. But yeah, the structural repairs will be part of it before it's
Lisa-
needed.
So Lisa, I did reach out to Kaylin, that's our defect
Mm.
attorney. We gotta remove the vines anyway, because she's gonna eventually need to see them. And we have to give Lennar the opportunity to be present while we do it. So
Okay.
it's coming it regardless.
Yeah.
So, and whatever the problem is the problem is.
Yeah.
And then-
No, it was in the back of my mind. And I
Yeah,
couldn't.
no, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That part would be still within the 558.
Okay.
So,
Could I suggest, if the board have nothing else to say, Darren Lefebvre can come on and just confirm on behalf of the beautification team that everything is good there?
Yeah.
I see him online. I think I see him online. Can you unmute him, Stephanie?
Sorry, Darren, you said?
Darren Lefebvre, yep.
Yep, give me one second to find him. Oh,
I
there
think
he is.
it'd also be nice to share in the bid that they're going to be installing a multi-zone AC and heating package
Mm.
for the area as well.
Darren, I've given you the ability to unmute.
Maybe
There
he's
it's
not there.
worked. Okay.
There he is.
There we go. Hi, yeah, thank you. Yes, yeah, the beautification team, we've all talked and wholeheartedly support this project. We think it'd be wonderful and look forward to, hopefully you approve it and look forward to it becoming a reality.
Yeah. Thank you, Darren.
Uh-huh.
the other part, Neil, the backside, we can add more if we want to, if we need to expand this.
Yes, yeah, they did say, the contractor did say if we want to go further across the front of the building to add more seating, we can do that in the future if we want to do so.
And we could add another row going towards the range, if you will.
Yes.
Bring
Right?
it out further out onto the patio type of thing.
Yeah, yeah, we
Right,
can,
so like if we-
it is flexible. They can add to it as well if we choose that we need even more seating at a future date.
Okay. And did we get a price on, Alan, your idea about the little wall? Was it Alan or James or John? Who suggested?
Alan.
a li-
It was me, yeah.
Alan.
I don't know if we've seen a price, but Stephanie, that's rather than that little metal fence, if we had any kind of like, at least as you're walking in, the front maybe, stone or something that looks a little bit nicer.
To cover the full perimeter still?
I don't even think the full perimeter, but just as you're looking at it to walk in, although that would limit the expansion potentially.
It would, yeah. I mean, that's going to restrict us if we want to expand in the future.
Or is there something that can just be put around the post, just like a little stone, to just give it a little sharper appearance?
Yeah, I mean, the contractor was really like flexible, he said that he would keep us informed during the whole project. And if we decide that something needs to change like mid-project, that would be, fine. We would just need to be up for discussion at the time.
So if you add it to the post, you're gonna mess with your screens.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have rails coming down.
Yep.
So that might get complicated.
Yep, agreed. Good thought.
What's their availability to start, and did they give a time frame to complete the project?
Yeah, they did, John. They said it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks in terms of time frame to build up, get the equipment in, get everything ready, and then 10 to 14 days to actually build it.
So we can start whenever. So they need the 8 weeks to get the material and also obtain all of the permitting. But once the project starts, it'll be about 2 weeks. But if we need to, do the project where we remove the vines and fix the stucco and paint the building, like we can do all of that first and then just tell him when we want to start the project. He just needs at least that 8 weeks.
And will the prices stay, bearing in mind the fluctuation in prices at the moment? Okay.
Well, the good thing about that too is it'd be ready right around the start of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Maybe we could coincide it with an opening and have some sort of golf tournament or something.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
So if I'm hearing correctly, the motion would be for the extension with the hurricane screens, a $15,000 budget to do the vine removal and painting.
Yeah.
And then are we missing any other items?
The two plaques to go up to recognize the general contributions from members, and then one to recognize the efforts of the beautification teams themselves.
And you see those plaques as being the same as sort of what's out on the golf course, right? So
Yeah, I think so.
The same
Yeah.
theme.
But I mean, yeah, that, you know, the design can be agreed
Yeah.
with Darren and the, you know, the beautification guys in terms of what they would like to see.
Okay. And I don't think there's any other items that we're missing on this.
Nope, that was all I had.
All right. Do we have a motion then for, well, I guess I'll make the motion. A motion for approving the Keeler project with hurricane screens, a $15,000 estimated budget for the removal of the vines and the painting. Stucco will be on top of that, which we'll have to deal with if and when that happens. The purchase of 2 plaques to be installed within the patio.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay. Thank you, John.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Last item on the agenda. Well, we'll have to do this. Golf bar extension. Stephanie, now the golf bar extension, that falls under. That's an operating expense.
So the objective of this project is to transform the existing L-shaped bar at Golf Grill into a longer, straight, linear bar. The purpose of the project is to improve bartender workflow, increase service capacity, add storage, and an additional sink and ice well, and also create a more upscale and inviting atmosphere for the guests. The existing L-shaped bar at the Golf Grill currently limits both service capacity and bartender workflow. Storage space is insufficient and the overall design lacks visual appeal. After consulting with several contractors, it became clear that the current layout does not maximize the available space. By converting the bar to a linear design, we aim to enhance workflow efficiency, add more needed storage, create a more comfortable environment for both the staff and the guests. The addition of an extra sink and ice well will further improve productivity and enable the service of a larger number of guests with ease. We contacted 3 contractors for this project. They happen to be the same 3 contractors, so DO Construction, Calvert Construction, and Keeler Consulting and Inspecting. We do recommend moving forward with DO Construction on this project. DO Construction is already a trusted vendor of the association, having successfully completed multiple projects for the property, and they demonstrated a clear understanding of the scope submitted. While we valued Keeler, I just want to make a note that we did really try to have Keeler be considered for this project. However, he was not able to include the full scope of work, specifically the addition of the additional sink and the ice well, without incurring additional costs. And given that the base price of Keeler's proposal for this was significantly higher than DO Construction's already, and we know that DO Construction is a trusted vendor already, we're proposing to move forward with DO.
Can I just ask if we were going to give the contract for the extension to Keeler, could we get them to maybe come in on a much better price and just have the one company do both? I'm just thinking of for efficiencies of scale, getting builders in and all that type of stuff. You know, it would save them money if they had equipment on site and that.
Yeah.
I just don't know if that would be a carrot to get them down.
Yeah, I can ask them. Their biggest thing for Keeler was that they weren't able to obtain the sink or the well without adding an additional cost to the proposal. So the proposal that they provided, that Keeler provided, was without the sink or the well. So if we want that added, it would have added an additional cost. So they could bring the whole thing down, but it might bring it up again because of the sink and the well. If that makes
How much
sense.
is a sink and a nice well? It wouldn't be that, they're not, they'd be
Yeah, I'm not sure.
within reason, they'd be fairly cheap compared to some of the other stuff that's going in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to have that discussion with him.
I just think it would be handy, them having maybe the same staff, they could end up reducing their own costs.
Yeah,
Ergo, we get a better price.
So then
I mean,
why
the
don't-
board, the board could make a motion to can
Yes.
approve it. You know, James.
Yes. Yeah, so if I'm hearing correctly, what you want to do, Lisa, is we want to approve the DO construction, give Stephanie the opportunity to go back to Keeler to have them match that price, match or better that price. If they so do that, we would pivot off of DO and go to Keeler. That's what
Because
you're-
we're going to give them the contract for the extension, so
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
nice carrot.
Yeah.
I'm good with that. Everyone else good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so then,
Do I have to say that all over again?
I got it. Don't worry, Lisa.
so, are you good with the motion or do you need me to make it there, Stephanie? You good? Does it work?
I mean, the motion is what you just stated. So approve DO construction, but give me the opportunity to go back to Keeler and see if they can match or better the
Renegotiate.
cost.
There
Yeah,
you
and
go.
if if Keeler come in with a similar price to this, well then we would go ahead with them.
Okay.
Correct. Did we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I do have
Aye.
one question.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I mean, obviously I think the goal was to do the work in the grill area the last week of August. Well, it's closed, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
If we're going to reach out to Keeler and ask them, we need to try to put a time limit for them to get back to us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So we don't miss it.
I'd forgotten we were doing it when
Yeah.
it was closed.
I think that would be part of matching the DO, right? Because if they're gonna be 8 weeks.
No, I understand that. What I'm getting at is they need to get the response back that yes, they'll match their price quickly so we can
Yeah.
get it done in 2 weeks from
We
now.
need to give them maybe a
Right.
48-hour window.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
Yeah.
give them I'll call them
Yeah.
tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd forgotten we
They
were
just
doing it
can't
when we were
drag it on, that's
closed.
all. Otherwise
Yeah.
we miss it.
So we're still on the window for August, whatever that is, 21 or 25, right?
Mhm.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions then? No, so we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, oh, Stephanie, it's you, it's open forum.
It is open forum. Okay, so
Sorry, before we finish, before you go into open forum, Stephanie, I just got a message from one of the homeowners to say, and it might be something that might be worth looking at. You know, the retreat over at hole 6, that Jim was meant to be in, and then
Yeah, we've
it's
already
not a
looked at
gym
the-
now.
We already looked at the equipment.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I spoke to
Yeah.
Sandra a month and a half or 2 months ago, and it can't.
We
it's not-
can't. Yeah, no,
We
it
don't-
was
we don't
just
want-
somebody
we
said
don't
to me it
want
was
it.
for sale,
Yeah, we don't
and it's all
want it.
new.
Yeah, we don't want it, but if a homeowner wants to buy it, they're gonna have some good deals, but
Right.
it doesn't work for us.
No,
yeah,
that's all.
I
That's
did. Yeah, I did a lot of research on it, and unfortunately, it's just not going to work for us.
okay.
It's a different brand that commercial fitness can't maintain. It's not the same quality. So
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just mentioned to me to maybe we should look at it. That's so
Okay.
I do appreciate that. Now, sorry, Stephanie, go ahead.
okay. Okay. So we are at the open forum section. So this is going to be for the next 30 minutes. We do have several comments that came in during the board meeting. So I'm going to read those comments first, or questions first, and then the board will have the opportunity to answer. And then we will go with anybody else who has their hand raised. We do have one person with their hand raised currently. So The first comment is, why don't we actively take tea time bookings in-house? I've seen examples of golfers trying to make tea times and the golf shop employees tell them to contact Golf Now. Why are we not taking these bookings in-house?
Okay, I'll answer it. So we have a 4T system that doesn't allow us to take the credit card swipe over the phone or in person in advance. So they use the Tee Times, well, they don't use Tee Times USA, they use Golf Now for that booking. And then what that does is they will pay, or they can go through our own website and then it'll log them into paying. So what we would then do by having that is it guarantees us our price and our money. So we had a problem in the past of no-shows on the public. The public, where it's, if you look on the tee sheet and it says public, that is the biggest risk tee time for us. Is that right, Ben and John?
That is correct. That is one of the reasons, mostly for the prepaid, so that way there's, the funds have been collected at the time of booking.
Yeah, full circle, the only way to fix that is we'd have to pivot off of 4Ts.
That is correct.
And if that's the case, then 4Ts has told us that they are thinking about doing it, but have no time frame to do it. So that would be a whole another question of going to Jonas, if so be it. So.
Okay. The next one, with the high demand for in-season golf, $139 seems low.
So looking at some of the competition in the area, and again, remember, this is just our wholesale. The public rate is going to be a little bit higher. But looking at the area, some of the local golf courses, so Southern Dunes is at 119. The Omni is at obviously a much different course. They're at 144. Eagle Brook is at 110. Shingle Creek's a little bit higher. They're at 160. So it kind of puts us right in the middle of the market of our competition in the area.
It's also time of day.
It is.
So by that I mean that 139. Remember, most of our sales are between 11 and 2. It's not between 7 and 11. So 7 and 11. If you look on Sunday morning tee time, I think you're pivoting it out on a wholesale at 169.
That is correct.
So if we were to sell morning tee times, it's substantially more. So what you're when you look at the 139, you got to compare apples to apples. So compare noon hour to noon hour.
Okay. Will the new golf wholesale contract provide less member availability?
The time slots have not changed from the availability, which is outlined in our golf manual.
Same time as last year.
Okay. And then a comment, weren't the vines part of the lawsuit? And there might be damage to the building. So I think we answered that question. Yes, it is part of the 558. Let me just verify one more thing. Okay, that's all of the comments.
Wow.
And then we do have one person raising their hand. See, it's Robin. I know you had your hand raised for a while, so I am gonna allow you to unmute, Robin. So if you still have anything, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. First, I'd like to thank the board for everything that they voted on tonight. Everything sounds great. Also,
I got it.
appreciate it. The pool, I'd like to know why action, not only the pool, but the pool area, the pavers, why action only occurs after numerous complaints. And then Jenny or Stephanie come out of the office to see what needs to be done. And I really think that on the nights and weekends that people need to come out. Before, Miguel used to always power wash the pavers and the furniture out in the pool. And I've heard a lot of complaints this summer about the pool and its cleanliness. So if we have a pool company, why isn't this taken care of? And again, why aren't the pavers being washed and around the pool area? And if it is, what days are this being done?
So I can, so regarding the pool cleanliness, I mean, that's why we are addressing this. And I know that it seems like it feels sincere. I know that it feels like we've only taken action when complaints have come, but this has been a long ongoing project that I've had with Jenny essentially for quite some time. You know, we needed to provide a lot of the proof that we did in case, you know, Central Florida Pools decides to come back. We need concrete, you know, evidence that they're not doing the work. And we also needed to give them the opportunity to correct. And a lot of times they did. A lot of times they did come out when we complained or when we said that the job was done insufficiently. They did come out and they did correct, and things would get a lot better for a few weeks, and then things would start to decline again. And, you know, essentially we just got tired of always having to follow up with them. But it has been an ongoing long project, and I know that we've had a lot of complaints, but I feel like those complaints have gone along with our complaints as well. A lot of times we have to do the research and all of the work to find these things without explaining it to the whole community from the get-go. And we have to do the research on the back end while keeping it quiet. And that's simply because we don't want residents, you know, expressing their grievances to the pool cleaners. We don't want the residents going up to the pool cleaners and saying, oh, well, I know that you guys are going to get, you know, we're looking for other companies, we're going to get rid of you. You know, we want to prevent all of that. So we do have to kind of sometimes do the research part, you know, quietly. But we share the community's concerns with the pool cleanliness, and that is why we're able to now make this step. Regarding the pavers and the pressure washing, we do have a very stringent schedule on the pressure washing. So I will get that from Jenny. I know that pressure washing has been done regularly on the pool decks since she's been our facilities manager. So I can get that schedule from her and let you know.
Yes, that would be great, because the pool, you know, the owners are tired of complaining and having to go up to the office all the time and tell you how dirty it is and needs to be cleaned. And then with the feedback that I got when I sent the pictures in of the pool, after they just fixed it, I'm sure it was under warranty. I don't want to hear that, you know, well, we're under the 558 litigation. We all know that. I'm just making the staff aware of the situation that was just fixed.
And I appreciate that. I just sometimes I know that because we're required to give Lennar a 10-day notice for those repairs, you know, we had those repairs scheduled. So, I mean, I know what situation that you're speaking of, Robin. So I apologize if it came off, you know, sternly, but we were aware. It's just that we have to, unfortunately, give Lennar that 10-day notice before we're allowed to touch any repairs, whether they're covered through warranty or not. You know, if Spee's Pool comes in and they make a repair to the delamination at the bottom of the pool and it pops up again, unfortunately, they're not allowed to just come back in and fix it through their warranty. We have to provide that 10-day notice again. And it's been a very, very long process.
Fine. I know it's frustrating for the staff, but it's also frustrating for the owners every day when we go in the pool. And
yeah, that's what I mean. It's frustrating for the owners. Yeah, I know. But we're you know, we are doing the best we can. You know, as soon as we are aware, I have Jenny and Miguel every morning, because Miguel is here at 4:30 in the morning. So he can do rounds of the pools prior to anybody being on site. So he walks the pool every morning and takes photos of the bottom when there's no water movement, so that I can get clear photos of the holes. And they pop up all the time. So we're, you know,
the 3 minutes is up.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks,
Sorry, can I just come in there, Stephanie? If you've got somebody, if Jenny and Miguel are doing inspections of the pool for the surface and stuff like that for you. It might be an idea to also have them do a general inspection, make sure that the loungers aren't broken, that the umbrellas are good, tidy up the place, just keep the place looking right. That's not something the pool company is going to do, and
Right.
that should be done on a daily basis. And to be honest, it should be done every evening too.
Yeah, no, Jenny and Miguel are definitely resetting all of the pool furniture every morning. I've even given them instructions at how we want the pool furniture positioned every morning. So I want either all of the loungers in the upright position or the full down position. So they have been sticking to that.
Okay.
And then regarding the chairs that need repairs and stuff, Jenny is actively working on that, and I've had contact with the vendor who sells that furniture specifically. So we're looking at getting a lot of the furniture re-slinged.
Okay. Okay. And also keep an eye on whether the place needs to be pressure washed on a more regular basis in the summer.
Mhm. Okay, we do have a few more comments. When is the next HOA bylaws review, and when was the last review conducted? I mean, we can add that for future discussion, because I know that that's not an agenda item.
Are they
But
talking about the ARC standards, or because
perhaps.
I'm not sure what they're talking about there. Because unless there's a specific bylaw that we have an issue with, the bylaws are the bylaws.
Right. Yes, yes, ARC standards.
Okay, they're done annually.
Yeah. So we yeah, they're done annually. And we just had an update, I think, in February of last year.
Yeah, we did have one in February, and there are some amendments that are going to be coming through, and we may push a couple of them through earlier because there's a couple of things that we might want to do earlier than February next year.
Yeah. And the another comment that we have, something that should be addressed with the new enclosure at the clubhouse is a permanent PA system.
Okay.
Okay. And
The
that
one
is-
that's in the plaza be used there, could it be repurposed to that?
I'm not sure. I can speak to AVI when they're here and see if that's something that can be done.
'Cause it's a much smaller area, so it might be more effective down there.
Mhm.
I don't know, just thinking aloud.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's dangerous.
The lights went off in the office, sorry. I was too still and the lights went out.
Stephanie, are you going to take that one away? Because that's actually
That's a good idea. Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, I can talk to AVI about that. That is all we have.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Stephanie. That's actually a lot of items. Last item is the adjournment, and then Stephanie will have a little comment after the adjournment, but do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Before everyone switches off, Stephanie, we're adjourned, so go ahead.
I want to thank everyone for joining tonight. I just want to announce that there will be a town hall style board meeting this coming Monday, August 11th at 6 p.m. for all golf related items. This information on the meeting, and as well as all of the related material for that meeting will be sent out to the community tomorrow afternoon. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to stop recording the meeting.